What's up, everybody? It's DK alongside Rhino, aka Hippo now, 'cause you gotta change your name and stuff. How you doing today, man?
Man, I'm doing good. Happy to be, producing content. That's the reason we're here, man. I love doing it.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. So we're calling this the MSR Fusion Podcast. It's gonna be me and Hippo. We're gonna talk about things throughout the MSR season. Like what we think, rankings. Hot and cold. Contender, non-contender. Talking about the draft and things of that nature. But this week we're just gonna start off with a little segment where we're gonna give you our surprises and disappointments from last season and this season, and then we're gonna give you the division champs of this season and our predictions of what we think. How you feeling about that,
Yep.
bruh?
Man, I'm excited. Last year was a hell of a season. Shout out to J Rod and his on his title. But I really think that with all the influx of users that we got for this season, it's just gonna be even more competitive. I can't wait.
All right, so let's just start off with our surprises for the AFC, and I'm gonna always kick it to you to start things off.
So for me, my biggest surprise was Muck. I've been in leagues with Muck for a while now, and I know that he's always been a pretty competitive dude. But for him to have the season that he did and make it as far in the playoffs as he did, it was nice to see. His Jets team, when you look at it, is not like there aren't really players that you're sitting there like, dang, I wish I could trade for them. Like, no, he's done what he's done with off of just solid user skill. Like, he doesn't have a bunch of like just players that really make you, I guess, worried about. And then on the flip side, my disappointment is really going to be in King. King is somebody that I really respect as a user. I know we have our differences on stuff, but I really respect his game. And for him to miss the playoffs completely was pretty big for me. I did not see how he went with that division being set up the way it is. I know that Hoff is always going to contend. The Ravens have not really had a solid user since. I can't remember the last solid user that we've had for the Ravens, and then Rico is Rico. So I mean, King has with his skills should be in the playoffs every single season. So that was definitely my disappointment for the AFC. What about you?
For my biggest surprise, I think I'm gonna go with the Titans. I think he came in later on in the season, and I think they were like 2-6, maybe like 2-8 or whatever. Probably not 2-8, more like 2-6. But I know it wasn't that many wins, and he ended up being able to take them to 500. I think he ended up 8-8 for the season. So that was my big surprise, especially when guys come down from Genesis and they come to the MSR, which is a whole nother level of competition. It was good to see him compete. My biggest disappointment, I'm gonna have to give it to the Uso because I feel like he's better than what he has been playing, and I'm just waiting for him to have that breakout year, especially like the year he had with the Jaguars in last cycle, whenever he went all the way to the Super Bowl, ended up losing to Tom in the Super Bowl. But that's been my biggest disappointment throughout this cycle, is just not seeing him on top. Now he is in a tough division, and I get that, but like it was an NFC Beast last year, when you're in a tough division, then it makes you better as a user. So I see big things in the future for that guy.
Yeah, agree. I definitely agree with that.
Moving on to the NFC.
For me, the surprise of the NFC has got to be although he lost the Super Bowl in 01, number one, the Washington football team user. The NFC Beast has been recreated now. Now to say that it'd be as strong as 20s would be, that'd be kind of like disrespectful to, the users that were in the NFC Beast last cycle. But make no mistake, Kylo, Timbo, and number one are three extremely solid users. So to see him run the gauntlet, in my opinion, of talented playoff users between Hop, Kylo, who else made the playoffs last season? I gotta show respect to Joey, TJ. For him to be the one that comes out on top. Dub, for him to be the one that comes out on top out of all those users, that was I got to give him his props. And then my disappointment has got to be myself. I'm going to reiterate this throughout the cycle, just when I know people, when the questions come up. I've been saying it for seasons now. This is the weirdest slump of Madden I've been in, because where I know that I'm playing bad. I could be doing a lot worse, but I could also be doing a lot better. And so for my division to be set up the way it is, where, and again, with you here, now obviously it's going to be a lot more competitive. With Ura, I love Ura. Dude's been, me and him have a really weird relationship. People thought that we hated each other, but me and him are cool. And then Joey is Joey and smooth. So, I mean, like, the competition has been good, has not been, something that should have kept me out of the playoffs for now going on 5 seasons or going on 6. So I definitely, especially with the roster that I have, I should be doing a lot better. I have any user's dream on offense, and my defense is nothing to slouch at. So, I mean, it sucks being in my position where I've got this extremely talented roster and I'm not doing anything with it.
So my big surprise was Payne and the Niners, man. He ended up winning a wild card game and beating one of the best users in the MSR and Kylo. So, big props to him. He ended up having a big win today against Joey, who ended up making to the divisional round, ended up winning our division last year. So big props to him. He's been playing quite well in developing that team. For my biggest disappointment, this was tough, but I'm going to have to throw this one to Little Bear, and only because he started off so well and he got a little big-headed. He was puffing all that smoke and puffing his chest out and everything, and he ended up faltering in the end. Much respect to Little Bear. He always starts off slow and he ends up picking up some steam towards the end of the cycle. So, I mean, I look for him as well to step his game up. He has a tough division as well out there in the NFC West. So, moving on to who you think is going to be the surprise and the disappointment of the AFC this season?
For me this season, I'm going to go with your surprise from last season. Titans, Slip. I know Slip. He and I were also in Tundra, which is Muck's League in Madden 20. We were both in the same division, and we had some battles. And I know in our first game here, I think it was last season, he came in and slapped me. So I know, Slip is a lot better than people going to give him credit for. I know he's really starting to, get his recognition. But I'm telling y'all, Slip is a beast on the sticks, and he plays the game the right way. And to say, what I mean by that is he's not going to go off and look for, AI advantages and game mechanic shit. He is a football nerd, and he plays Madden accordingly. So, the dude, he's going to surprise a lot of people this cycle, for the remainder of the cycle. And then my disappointment, who I think is not going to show up, and I'm sorry, now this, I'm going to have to give it to the Oos. I think Samoan is going to, I don't know. I feel like his such a good offseason. If he is not at the minimum in the AFC Championship, something's wrong. So I hope that I'm wrong. I really hope that I'm wrong, but I think that unless he makes a conference championship, that his season's a failure.
I'm going to have to go with my biggest surprise would be YK and the Texans. I feel like he made some really great offseason moves bolstering up that defense. He ended up, I think, losing to Taco week 1 in a real close game, but I mean, Taco's is probably the GOAT of the MSR. In my opinion, he's won more Super Bowls than anybody, so you can't take that away from him. My biggest disappointment, I think, is going to go to Hoff for the same reasons as you think for the USO. I think Hoff has this super team. They're super loaded, and anything less than the AFC Championship is a disappointment, and I just don't think he's going to make it there. He had a real tough game against the Bears and Kolb, and Kolb could have found a way to win that game, but the superstars that he has on defense just made plays at the right time, and he squeaked out barely with the W. But I think Hoff is going to be the biggest disappointment for the AFC. Moving over to the NFC, what you got?
My surprise for the NFC, I'm going to go with you, DK. I think this is going to be your first full season back. I'm going to put that pressure on you to dominate.
Don't do it.
I need you to just, show the league, remind the league about the 2-time champ. You know what I'm saying? I need all that pressure on you so I can squeak by unnoticed and everything. But if I'm being for real, I think you had a quietly one of the better off seasons in the league, especially in the NFC. And I think that you will just you will definitely remind people, of the level of skill as a user that you have. And as far as disappointment, I'm gonna say I really think that this is gonna be a season where Dub, uh, Dub kind of makes a fallback. I think that TJ is kind of has cemented himself as the better user in the NFC North, and I think that Kolb, after some really cool counseling sessions with Hop, has got his game to a point where he'll be able to contend with anybody. And so I think Dub, especially with regular season Dub being the difference between playoff Dub, that difference being there, I think that he just kind of finds a way to not make it work this whole regular season with the talented defense that he has and that roster that he has. I think Dub just finds a way to kind of screw it up, but that's just me.
For my NFC surprise, I'm gonna go with the commish Timbo, man. He's hungry. He wants some winning in his life. He struggled last cycle. He's been solid, really solid this cycle. He's been competitive, especially being in a division with Kylo. I mean, I know what that feels like. I've only beat him twice. Two times I beat him is when it mattered the most. But shoot, you gotta get your wins when you can with Kylo. But I mean, I think Timbo's hungry, man. I think he has a really good team. He's made the right moves. I heard him talking on the NDP podcast about he's drafted really well. He's brought in good players, and I truly believe that he can make a run. As far as my disappointment, I think I'm about to go with number one. I mean, anything less than returning to the Super Bowl and winning it is a disappointment in my opinion. And it's so tough to get that far, having to beat some of the competition that you have in the NFC, including that division with Timbo and Kylo. It's just so tough to get back there. And anything less than winning the Super Bowl is a disappointment. I mean, if I was in this position, I feel the same way. I mean, once you get there and you taste it, you want to win it. And there's not many guys in this league that have a Super Bowl. There's only a limited amount of us, and the same dudes keep winning. So you want to get on that mountaintop with all the rest of us guys who've actually won Super Bowls. Yeah, let's move on to the go ahead and be quick with our division champs. We're gonna start off in the AFC and the AFC East. Who you got?
I'm gonna take Ed. And as y'all know, I had a rough game against him last night, but I really think that he from a stick standpoint is the best user in the AFC East. So I'm gonna go with Ed.
I'm going to go with Eat More Chicken and the Dolphins. I think he kind of slipped back a little bit in that division, and I think this is the year he bounces back. I've heard so much about him, and I mean, he's had his ups and downs in the MSR. We all know that MSR is one of the most competitive leagues, if not the most competitive league out there. But I think it's a division really for anybody other than Keegan. No disrespect, bro, but anybody other than him to win. It's up for grabs, but I'm going to go with the Dolphins. AFC North.
That's good. AFC North, I'm gonna have to. Oh my! I have to go with Hoff. I have to, and I want to pick King. I really want to pick King. Rico is Rico. New dude, I forget. I think it's A1. A1 is A1. Like, he's new. He's gonna have to, learn the ropes. But I think that Hoff has the best roster. If he does not win the division, bro, sell your game. I'm telling you, bro, that roster is too good. And I know mine is good, but that defense is absolutely loaded. If he doesn't do anything with it, I will be disgusted.
I want to say King as well, but I got to agree with you and go with Hoff. He has the best roster probably on the game. I mean, him and the USO have some of the best rosters, and Dove have some of the rosters, in the league. So, I mean, like I said, anything less than the AFC Championship, including winning the division, is a disappointment. And he has a roster, and he does have the skill. He's been to the Super Bowl. It was a rough one to lose against Kylo on that pass, but he's hungry just like Timbo. I totally feel like he's just like Timbo. He's hungry. He wants to get his name on that mountaintop as well. All right, moving over to the AFC South. Who you got?
Taco. Enough said, Taco.
Yeah, I agree. Taco. Enough said. I mean, I heard YK talking that smack on NDP. And still, Taco's just Taco. We'll move on. The AFC West.
Okay. Because I made him my disappointment, that shows like how much, I'm gonna go out on a limb because I feel bad about making my disappointment. I'm gonna say Samoan, but Samoan, I swear, if you do not come away with this season with a conference championship bout, like at least be there, I'm gonna have to come and visit you. We're gonna have to handle that because the dude's roster is insane. He has the skill, he has the experience. Bro, just get there. That's all I need. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and I'm gonna pick Samoan.
I'm going Samoan too, man. You got to do it for the culture, bro. I mean, you got the best secondary, well, the best set of cornerbacks in the league. I mean, you got the team to compete against J-Rod. I mean, this is it right here. I mean, if you can't get it done this year, then I don't know, bro. So I'm a ride with you, man. You got to beat the five-time champion. And it's going to be tough because you know J-Rod's a stud, man. But Uso, hey, for the culture, bro. For the culture. Moving over to the NFC, and we're going over to the new NFC beast. Who you got?
Kylo. Kylo is the most consistent user when it comes to success. He's one of the GOATs of MSR, if you will. I fully expect him to reclaim his division easily.
Kylo, he's on a mission to get Matthews to superstar, maybe even X Factor if he gets lucky somehow, some way. But he, like he said on the NDP podcast, and I keep going to that, he was like he likes Matthews, he likes his team, he likes the players, so he's going to be more dialed in during his games. And this season, I think he's going to be a huge threat, especially after getting knocked out a few times in the playoffs early. So I expect Kylo to come back with a vengeance. I mean, he did the first game winning 42-7. Over to the NFC North, who you got?
TJ, my bro. I know you going through a rough time with your console, but I fully expect you when you get back, because you will get back, bro, that you gonna make a run. So however long it takes, I just hope don't start off like 0-4 or something. But when you get that console back, bro, I fully expect you to take your division back. I think you're the best user in that division. Go ahead and get it.
I want to say Dub so bad, I really do. But I'm gonna say Colt, bro. And I'm gonna jump out on the limb, and I'm gonna say that because I watched his game against Hoff. If he could just use this as momentum moving forward, because that's one of the best teams he's gonna play all year. He played him so well, and there's a few times on stream he was like, "Man, I got scared." If he could just stay composed, man, he has an explosive offense, man. He can compete. Watch out for Kolb in that NFC North. All right, bro. Here we go. NFC South. Who you got?
All right. So if I wanted to go full mental warfare, I'd have to put it on you, the two-time champ. I know you're the most accomplished user in this division, but I would not be myself if I did not pick myself, bro. I don't care. I'm 15. I lost week 1, so I'm 15-1 till I'm 14-2. I fully expect myself to win this division, and if I don't, I don't. If I do, I do. But I fully expect myself to win this division.
I'm gonna be modest, and I'm just gonna say it's Joey's divisions to lose. I mean, he dominated the division last season. Did he not lose a game in the division last season?
Last season, I don't.
I beat him in a sim game, so he basically went undefeated in the division. Until he's defeated, he's the champ. I'm not gonna give myself nothing, but best believe I'm coming, man. I kind of feel like I got a little something to prove as well. I got to at least try to make it to the playoffs, man, and be competitive, man. I'm really looking forward to this season, man. I love my team, and you know, I've retooled a lot of things, man, and I'm interested to see how it's going to work out, man. I'm pretty excited. It's been one of the most exciting times I've been in a while for a season. And last but not least, man, the NFC West. Who you got?
I gotta take Hop. Bear, I'm sorry, bro, but your mouth writes checks that your skills can't cash. Pain. I just don't think that you have the long-term experience to do something down the road. I think that Hop just is the most experienced user. Papa John, this dude is probably the most. I hope his game is solid for how he talks in chat. I've never seen him play, so I have no idea how dude can play.
I play on week one,
so
I get to know firsthand tomorrow night at 6 Eastern. Yes, I'm excited for that game because he's been talking a lot of trash to me too. I'm interested to see what he got.
Yeah, so that'll be a perfect measuring stick for me to see, you know, his skill level throughout this league. But I gotta go with Hop. Hop is the most consistent user in that division by
far. Hop. I mean, Super Bowl champion. You know, he got his name out there on the mountaintop. I mean, it's his division to lose. He's going strictly offense, and I think that's his strength. Relying on his offense and less on his defense. He brought a lot of pieces on offense, especially at receiver. I feel like he's going to be dominant. I see him week 2. I'm looking forward to that matchup as well. I lost to him in overtime last year. I got a better team in my opinion, so I'm ready to compete, man. But I think Hop is going to take this division. With that being said, man, that's it for this show. We're going to keep it moving for sure. We're going to come back probably mid-season, just see where the league is, see how our predictions look from the beginning towards the middle, then towards the end. You got anything left to say to the people out there?
Nah, just keep up the content. I love the competition that we've got. I want to see us hit another 2-3 seasons. Keep it rolling, man.
Keep it rolling, man. Appreciate everybody who's listening, man. Appreciate everybody who's putting in work for MSR, the podcast, the graphics, everybody. Big shout out to my boy Rico, bro. I got you, bro. You my guy. I got you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Hey, put some respect on Rico's name, baby. With that being said, the Fusion Podcast, we are out.